Hi friends, welcome to English Study Point. Today in this video lecture I am going to discuss A.K. Ramanujan's three sets of independent oppositions. A.K. Ramanujan was an eminent Indian poet, translator and scholar who proposed idea of three sets of independent oppositions in following ways. First, classical versus folk. Ramanujan is highlighting the distinction between classical literature, which is more structured, formal, and influenced by established literary traditions, and folk literature is rooted in the oral tradition of a culture passed down through generations. Another, he talked about written versus spoken. Here he tries to draw out difference between literature that is written down and literature that is spoken or performed orally. Written literature is fixed on the page and allowing for a more controlled and permanent form of expression, while spoken literature is dynamic, evolving through each performance and interaction with the audience. This opposition raises questions about the impact of orality on storytelling and the ways in which different forms of literature engage with their audience. Third is fixed versus fluid. Here, Ramanujan contrasts literature that adheres to a strict predetermined structure with literature that is flexible, adaptable, and open to change. Fixed form of literature such as traditional verse, forms or strict poetic meters impose limitations on expression, while fluid forms like free verse or improvisational storytelling offer more freedom for creativity and experimentation. This opposition invites us to consider how the form of a literary work influences its meaning and understanding. Now, here I am, first of all, telling about first set of opposition that Ramanujan explores between classical and folk tradition. According to him, classical literature refers to Sanskrit texts and other literary forms produced by educated elite in India. This means Ramanujan here defines classical literature as the refined literary works produced by the educated elite in Sanskrit, and it adheres to established poetic forms. By emphasizing the association with the educated elite, he highlights the prestige and formal qualities of classical literature as compared to folk traditions. Classical texts include Sanskrit texts which are refined and adhere to stringent poetic conventions. What it means that Ramanujan underscores the meticulous craftsmanship and adherence to strict poetic conventions found in classical texts, particularly those in Sanskrit. And here he highlights structured and controlled nature of classical literature, which reflects a deep engagement with literary traditions and a focus on formal precision. Folk literature refers to oral and written narratives that emerge from local, rural, and non-elite communities. It includes vernacular languages embodying local customs and transmitted orally. This particular line means, in contrast, here Ramanujan tried to draw a contrast where he showcased characteristics of folk literature, and he describes that folk literature consists of narratives originating from local, rural, and non elite communities, whether communicated orally or through written mediums. This distinction highlights the organic community based nature of folk literature, which also reflects the customs, beliefs, and experiences of everyday people. And he further talks about that folk literature is expressed in for vernacular languages representing the linguistic diversity and cultural richness of different regions. By emphasizing its oral transmission and embodiment of local customs, he underscores the intimate connection between folk literature and the lived experiences of diverse communities. The Ramayana exists in Classical Sanskrit, as composed by Valmiki and in multiple folk versions such as Tamil Kamba Ramayana, showcase regional flavors. So, the epic story of the Ramayana has been traditionally captured in the refined classical Sanskrit version by Valmiki, while various folk versions like the Tamil Kamba Ramayana present the tale with local cultural influences and variations. Classical tradition, regarded as more refined and intellectually superior, he argues for the need to recognize rich and diverse forms of representation in folk traditions that are equally significant and valuable. So, Ramanujan talks about classical approach to literature, which is seen in works like Valmiki's Ramayana, is often considered more polished and recognized for its intellectual depth and sophistication. And Ramanujan here advocates for acknowledging the importance of the diverse and vibrant expressions which are found in folk traditions. Here he emphasized that these forms of storytelling hold their own significance and value alongside classical works like the Ramayana in Sanskrit. And here we see that Ramanujan here highlights the presence of the Ramayana in both classical and folk tradition, emphasizing the unique cultural nuances and importance of recognizing and appreciating the diverse forms of expression found in folk narratives. So, this is how he tries to differentiate between classical as well as folk tradition. Second set of opposition Ramanujan identifies is between written and spoken literature. He observes contrast in Vedas, which are oral texts supposedly fluid, and the Ramayana, which is supposedly fixed according to him, have been transmitted over the ages. So, here Ramanujan notes the difference in how the Vedas, which are orally transmitted texts, are considered to be fluid and adaptable over time, while the Ramayana, being a written text, is perceived as fixed and unchanging. He says that a text like an epic story in the written tradition of Ramayana allow for endless variations. This means Ramanujan here points out that written texts like the Ramayana provide flexibility for endless interpretations and variations, allowing for creative retellings and adaptations of the epic story. कहने का मतलब हुआ कि यहाँ पर अपनी इंडिपेंडेंट ऑपोजिशंस दे रहे हैं ए के रामानुजन रिटन लिटरेचर के रिगार्ड में. वो कहना चाहते हैं कि ऐसा माना जाता है कि रिटन लिटरेचर बिल्कुल फिक्स्ड होती है, ये एक जनरल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है लोगों का. बट ए के रामानुजन यहाँ पर कहना चाहते हैं कि जैसे रामायणा है वो रिटन होकर भी कहीं ना कहीं ऐसे वर्क्स को अलाउ किया गया है एंड ओपनली इन वर्क्स को एंडलेस इंटरप्रिटेशंस दी जा सकती है. भले ही ये रिटन है बट इन्हें अलग अलग तरीके से क्रिएट किया जा सकता है, फिर से इनकी स्टोरीज़ को रीटेल किया जा सकता है. तो वो इस पर्टिकुलर जनरल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू के अगेंस्ट जाकर वो ऐसा कहना चाहते हैं के रामानुजन जी कि रिटन टेक्स्ट जैसे कि रामायणा, इन पर भी एंडलेस इंटरप्रिटेशंस दिए जा सकते हैं, अलग अलग तरीके की स्टोरीज़ के अंदर वेरिएशंस लाकर दिखाए जा सकते हैं. Hundreds of versions exist, written, sung, danced, and sculpted in South and Southeast Asian languages. Here he highlights the vast diversity of Ramayana adaptations across South and Southeast Asian languages, which showcase how the epic story has been expressed through written, oral, performative, and visual mediums. And according to him, orally transmitted Vedas should be fixed. अब लोगों का ऐसा कहना है कि जो ओरल लिटरेचर है उन्हें कहीं ना कहीं वो उन्हें चेंज किया जा सकता है। बट इस व्यू के अगेंस्ट जाकर ए के रामानुजन जी कहते हैं कि जैसे ओरल लिटरेचर पर बेस्ड वर्क है वेदास, उन्हें अब फिक्स कर दिया जाना चाहिए। एंड जितने भी रिटन लिटरेचर है जैसे कि रामायणा, उन्हें फिक्स्ड, जो कि उनके बारे में ऐसा सोचा गया है कि वो हमेशा फिक्स्ड ही रहेंगे। तो इस व्यू को हटाकर उनको अलग अलग उनके अंदर जो प्रेजेंट स्टोरीज़ है उसमें कहीं ना कहीं अलग अलग तरीके के वेरिएशंस ला दिए जाने चाहिए, ताकि लोग उन पर अलग अलग इंटरप्रिटेशंस फॉर्म कर पाएँ। एंड देन ही सेज रामायणा हैव लिबर्टीज विद द स्टोरी। तो रामायणा की जो स्टोरी है, लोगों के पास फुल्ली ये फ्रीडम होनी चाहिए कि उसकी स्टोरीज जो उसमें प्रेजेंट है, उस स्टोरी को बिल्कुल एक नया ट्विस्ट दे दिया जाए एंड शुड बी कंसीडर्ड एज फ्लूइड एज एन ओरल फोक टेल। सो इस तरीके से वो अपोज कर रहे हैं रामायणा जैसे फिक्स टेक्स्ट को कहीं ना कहीं एक नई वेरिएशन दी जानी चाहिए, एंड वेदास जैसे ओरल लिटरेचर के टेक्स्ट को कहीं ना कहीं फिक्स कर दिया जाना चाहिए, तो वाइस वर्सा कर दिया जाना चाहिए। ऐसा रामानुजन जी का व्यू है। So Ramanujan suggests that while orally transmitted texts like the Vedas are expected to remain consistent and fixed in their recitation, written works like the Ramayana have the freedom to evolve and incorporate variations resembling the fluidity of oral folk tales here. Written literature encompasses texts that are recorded and preserved through writing such as books, manuscripts, and inscriptions. What it means that written literature is recorded and preserved in books and manuscripts which are considered fixed and authoritative by Ramanujan. And Ramanujan posits that the written tradition is seen as fixed and authoritative. Spoken literature is oral tradition where stories, songs, performances are passed down through generation via word of mouth. Ramanujan argues that the oral tradition allows for improvisation, variation, and interaction with the audience. This means oral tradition passes stories through word of mouth, allowing for improvisation means change and interaction with the audience, as argued by Ramanujan. This suggests a dynamic and personal element to oral literature that is not present in written text, and in this way it tried to challenge notions of traditional literary value. Then the third set of opposition that Ramanujan considers is between fixed and fluid textual traditions. Fixed texts are literary works that are preserved in a stable and standardized form over time. These texts are considered as authoritative and definitive. They are seen in classical literatures that privilege formality and resistance to alteration. Fluid texts have constant variations, adaptations, and retelling. They include folk tales which morph with each telling. The Mahabharata's written version is more stable, while tribal retellings such as Gond and Bhil versions vary widely. This means that here Ramanujan discusses two types of textual traditions. One is fixed and another one is fluid. Fixed texts are literary works that remain in a consistent, unchanged form over time. They are viewed as authoritative and definitive, and often they are found in classical literature that values unchanging formality and resists any kind of alterations into it. On the other hand, fluid texts constantly evolve through variations, adaptations, and retellings. Examples of fluid texts include folk tales that change with each telling. And here I have presented one example of Mahabharata, which is more stable and consistent, and it maintains a standardized form over time. In contrast, tribal retellings like the Gond and Bhil versions of the Mahabharata exhibit significant variations and divergences, with the story changing widely from one retelling to another. This contrast between fixed and fluid textual traditions highlight the dynamic nature of storytelling and the varying degrees of stability within different narratives. Then Indian literature is characterized by a fluidity that allows for multitude of versions and interpretations. Fluidity is evident in retellings of the Ramayana, which vary across different regions and communities. Ramanujan suggests that fluidity, seen as a weakness or a lack of authenticity, but as a reflection of the dynamic and ever evolving nature of Indian literature. This means that Indian literature showcases a fluidity that permits diverse versions and interpretations. This fluidity is particularly noticeable in the retellings of the Ramayana, which differ among various regions and communities. Ramanujan here proposes that this fluidity should not be perceived as a flaw or absence of authenticity, but rather as a manifestation of the vibrant and continually progressing essence of Indian literature. Then we get to see different genres allow different degrees of fixity and freedom. Written form is mnemonic, they should be presented orally and used freely for improvisation. Written texts of Yakshagana or Kathakali performance are few pages long, but actual performance take whole night. Similarly, texts of a song are few lines long but takes an hour while singing. Orally transmitted texts have fixed components, formulae, refrains, obligatory descriptive passages, and traditionally defined motives and narrative structures. This means different genres of literature offer varying levels of stability and flexibility. Written text serves as a memory aids and are often meant for oral presentation, allowing room for improvisation. That means it allows for change to happen. And for instance, scripts for Yakshagana or Kathakali performance may be only a few pages in length, yet the actual performance can extend throughout an entire night. Similarly, a song's written lyrics may be brief, but when sung, it can last for an hour. So, orally transmitted texts contain fixed elements such as formulas, refrains, required descriptive sections, and established motives and narrative patterns. These components contribute to the structured nature of orally transmitted narratives, maintaining consistency while allowing for creative interpretation within the established framework. Then with this video lecture ends here. Hope this video lecture will help you in your exams. Thank you.